Hi, I'm Natalie from Bundle Baby, and today I am talking about keeping your child rear-facing longer. And I know this topic can be kind of a boring one, but hopefully I keep you at a snoozeville with a few props. I'm gonna tackle rear-facing in a bit of a different way today. Normally, I have a script I go to. So I've done many car seat clinics. I'm a car seat tech, and I've done a few videos on rear facing. So I kind of have a go-to script, which goes a little something like this. When a car is in a frontal collision, everything jerks towards the front. So if you're driving, you're gonna jerk forward. All the objects in the car are going to go towards the front of the vehicle. And if the baby, or puppy in this case, if she's rear facing, she'll be pushed towards the front of the vehicle, and her head, neck, back, and bum is gonna stay nicely aligned because the seat is there to support her spine. So it's spreading that force kind of over the entire spine. But if she is front facing and everything goes towards the front of the vehicle, her head is gonna go forward, but because she's harnessed in, her body will stay there and her head's gonna go forward, and that entire impact is gonna be taken up in her neck. So that's my script, but it doesn't end there, because the last time I did a video on my social media about rear facing and talking about frontal collisions and everything going towards the front, someone came into my DMs and said, well, what happens if you're rear-ended? Because it's the opposite. If you get rear-ended, someone hits you from behind. So say if you're driving and someone hits you from behind, they're not paying attention, and they bump you from the back, everything in the vehicle is pushed actually towards the back of the vehicle. So she's like, it's the opposite. So 100%, it's totally true, but it kind of doesn't matter. So I'll explain. There's a few type of collisions that exist. So you can be hit from the front. So say my Power Ranger is a tree, and you're driving, you hit a bit of ice, and then you swerve off the road and you hit the tree. So that the front of the vehicle is what's coming into contact with the tree. Everything is gonna go towards the front. Or if you're driving, you hit a patch of ice, and you come into contact with an oncoming vehicle. That again is a frontal collision. Another type of collision is a T-bone or a side impact. So that's if you're going through an intersection and Mr. over here hasn't realized it's a red light, he runs into the side of your vehicle. That's a T-bone or a side impact. The last type of collision we're gonna look at is a rear end. So if you're driving, you come to a stop. I don't even know what side is the front of this car. If you're at a stop sign and Mr. behind you is maybe paying attention to his phone, doesn't realize that you've come to a stop and hits you from behind, you're gonna jerk back. So those are the three types of collisions. So where does that leave you? Well, a car seat is tested in a frontal collision. So if you've ever come across a crash test for car seats, because most people have come across crash tests for car seats, you'll see that it's a bench. So it's like a seat of a vehicle attached to a moving object, and it kind of stimulates running into a wall. So it's a frontal collision. The reason it's designed for that and not the side impact or the rear end is because typically those two are done at really low speeds. If you've ever been rear-ended, it was likely at a light. So it's in the city or in a town at a stop sign, typically not going very fast. Whereas a frontal collision can be done at very high speeds. So if you come into contact with anything going at 100 kilometers an hour or more, you'll realize that the collision is a lot more dangerous than, say, a collision that is at 40 kilometers an hour. The reason it doesn't matter if you get rear-ended is because it's not at a very high speed. And for side impact, so a car coming into another car from the side, they've actually added a few features to the car seat so that there's a bit of protection when it comes to that, which is these fancy headrests, these nice big wings beside your child's head are there to protect in case you get T-boned. So I hope I have added to your knowledge as a parent when it comes to car seat safety. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time.